we'll be right back with the leaders here.
This is so scary.
So good, Kendall.
You were literally talking, and like your intro, and I was like, she's never been on the
No.
podcast.
Welcome to no.
Really good.
Oh my gosh, you guys did a great job.
Clarify though that like it wasn't like they didn't have a lead.
I was waiting for you to say that. I saw you in the back, and you were like, I saw.
All right, Stoney Sessions. My name is Kendall Bills. Thank you for joining us today. I have some special guests with us. I have never been on here today, but I also have two other friends that have never been here either. We've got Maya, we've got Addie. So I want them to just tell us a little bit about themselves. First, I'll just start and say I am the worship director here at Stoney Church, and like I said, I've never been here on the podcast, so I'm a little bit nervous, but we get the jitters out, said a little prayer, and I'm so excited just to see the conversations that come from this, and yeah, just hear a little bit more about NTS camp. So before we get into that, I want to hear Maya. Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, what you're doing?
As Kendall said, I'm Maya. I'm going into my freshman year of college. It's kind of exciting, a little scary, but it'll be fun. I'm going to Hope. I think go Flying Dutchman. Don't quote me on that. And my favorite color is pink. And a fun fact about me is for Halloween, I dressed up as Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty because it's my favorite show and he's my favorite person.
That is super fun. I don't know much about the Duck Dynasty family. I feel like Sadie Robinson, that's her name, right? Yeah. She keeps me in with the family a little bit more, with my sisters, keeping in touch with them too. So awesome. Thank you, Maya. Addie?
I'm Addie. I'm going in my senior year at Romeo High School. A fun fact is that I go to the gas station at least 2 times a day.
Can you tell us why that is? I feel like we need a good explanation about this.
Usually in the morning I get a Bloom, sometimes a Dr. Pepper, sometimes a For Real shake. Really just depends.
The Dr. Pepper could get a lot of people there. I feel like that's
and the fountain one's a lot better.
Yeah.
So that's what I get.
That's fair. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing a little bit about yourselves. And yeah, I'm so excited to get into what Never the Same camp was like for you guys. I know one of the quotes that I've heard is they say it's never the same camp because you truly never come back the same. Is that, I don't know if you had said that. Addie actually had the opportunity just to share a little testimony in the ways that the Lord has been working and the way that he did work in your heart at camp. So that was really great. And before we get into, all the deep questions, all the fun stuff, I want to start with what would you say if you were to describe camp in 3 words? What would those 3 words be?
Probably Amish.
Can you tell us why? Can you tell us why?
We have to go through Amish country, and I love Amish, and everyone gets so excited for me. It's very fun. And hill. Every year the hill gets worse.
Have you fallen down the hill before?
Not at this camp.
Okay, there we go.
So that's a win. I did fall down the Spring Hill and get a concussion, so we won this time. And then worship.
There you go. That's awesome. Addie?
Mine would probably be green because we're the green machines, and
Green team.
we may lose every time, but I still like our team.
You're still green? Yeah.
Yes. Peace, because camp is just a place where we're all at peace and we're all having fun.
Yeah.
And Big Al's, because it's the restaurant in the basement and it's very fun, and we all go down there every night.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I love that. That just gives us little sneak peeks, I feel like, into camp. That's great. So I feel like, camp is it can be a really intense experience, and we've kind of already touched on the fun little bits, but before we get into just talking about the ways that the Lord has moved and worked in your hearts, I would love to hear a funny story, because I know that there's always got to be a funny story from camp. There's always got to be. So I know one of you guys has got to have a funny story.
I have a funny
Maya.
story.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so we just got into our room, And Miss Courtney just came in, gave us this huge talk because we were alone in our townhouse. Like everyone else had a leader. We did not have a leader, so we had to be like responsible and not break anything.
Did you manage that?
No.
Okay, here we go.
I was being responsible, kind of. I opened the window to put our box fan in, and I basically I opened it and I touched it, and then I lightly put the box fan in. The box fan is still in my hand. The window fell out. If you could just hear everyone go, "Mama!" I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out. I ran outside. I carried in the window screen, and they're like, "Maya, it's broken," and I was like, "It's not broken." And they're like, "Maya, it's bent in half. It's broken."
Oh, no. What floor were you guys on?
I was on the second. We were on the second.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Oh no. So the one test that you guys had, not to break anything.
And of course it was me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
And they were like, "You need to tell Miss Courtney." And I'm like, "It's not broken. I'm not
Did Miss Courtney laugh about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. See? And that's why it's a funny story.
Yeah.
There's always something. There's always something. Were the dorms okay for you guys?
Yeah, they were
Yes.
good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I loved it.
And I like them better than the dorms we had last year.
Way
Well, that's
better.
great.
Yeah.
That's good. I feel like Houghton is a beautiful campus, so
Yeah.
that's nice you guys got to be there. Do you guys know anyone that has visited there for camp and now they want to go to school there?
There were people up there saying that when they were on stage before
Yeah.
chapel began.
A little glitch.
But no one from that we personally knew.
Yes. No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I think I've been to Houghton once or twice maybe before, but that's really cool that you guys get to go there. Is it there every year at the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And they put it on by the school and
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
They have a few different spots they travel,
yeah.
but New York's our spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And how long of a drive?
Like
8
hours.
Okay. That's not too bad. Not
No,
too
it's
bad.
fun.
Yeah. Through Amish country too. So
Mhm.
yeah,
That's the best part.
get a little taste of everything there. All right. Well, I would love to just hear, I don't know if you guys have any notes, even from maybe some sermons or, some small groups or, just different conversations or moments, time alone with the Lord, where you feel like the Lord was really nudging your heart, just giving you a good reminder, maybe teaching you something new. Is there one big thing that you could be like, oh, this is my big takeaway? The Lord was really, working in my heart.
We during morning chapel, it was just the high schoolers, and we
Mhm.
went over how to spread the gospel.
Mm.
And obviously we all know about the
Yeah.
gospel, us in this room, but
Yeah.
it's one thing to think about, some people don't know,
Right.
which is crazy. But
Mhm.
also I've never been the one to be let me go tell someone,
Mhm.
because I've always been scared. But it's the fact that they went over it step by step throughout the day and telling us how to do it and making us feel confident. It's I left feeling ready. And they
Oh.
gave us a bracelet too to glance down when you're telling it.
That's great. That's really awesome. I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things, even especially with you going away to school. You are probably going to be in a lot of different places and different environments. So having those tools, you feel like you have been equipped to share the gospel. That's really awesome. Was that the main focus of camp this year?
In morning chapel,
Yeah.
but in night chapel, we were talking about David and his struggles and
Wow.
how God was always there for him throughout it,
Yeah.
no matter what he did.
Yeah. And that's great too. And I feel like that probably ties kind of almost hand in hand, the morning chapel and the evening with the, because sharing the gospel. And like you said, we've done it before. Some of that is just what we know. But sometimes you can encounter, a really hard, situation where you're really trying to work with someone, or it can just be really, discouraging at times. So that's awesome. You guys got to learn even about David and that as well. That's really, really awesome. I feel like one of the, another big thing is probably relationships and friendships at camp. Do you guys have anything that you may encourage someone if they're thinking about camp, maybe I know that like you guys have like, especially you, it might be like a little bit bittersweet it being your last camp. The bonds like between just the entire youth group really grows with the team games, I'm sure, worshiping together, just growing together. I feel like that's, probably really big. Do you feel like, is there anything that you would like say to someone and just say like camp was great because of this and you may not ever know it until you go? I feel like relationships might be that big one. I don't know. Did you guys meet in like camp or at church or?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
church.
really
Did you?
close last year during
There you
church
go.
camp.
Okay. That's
So-
awesome. Yeah. So is that one of those things that you'd say?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a lot of beautiful friendships come from that too. And I think hopefully for even the two of you, just like encouraging each other to grow in Christ, and camp is definitely one of those places to do that. So
I would say camp is a good place to realize that you're not alone. Like
Yeah.
everyone, not even just your small group, but everyone in your small group is there for you.
yeah.
And everyone in your youth group is there to you. You
Yeah.
can turn to anyone in your youth group and they'll be ready to support you, pick
Yeah.
you up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Yeah. So I feel like I think that it's cool because you get to be with different churches and things like that. Do you guys ever make like any connections that you like bring back and you're like, oh wait, they're not too far from us. We can, go to their youth group maybe if it's on a different night, or, just different connections like that?
It's kind of hard because we are in New York, so most of the churches come from New York.
Okay, yeah.
But we kind of adopted some kids.
Yeah.
Do you want to share?
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
adopted a boy named Isaac.
Okay.
And he was just kind of with us the whole time. I don't really know what church he goes to,
Yeah.
or
Was he
just
like a
with
part of
us.
the green team and then
Yeah.
you just like followed
just
along?
like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
And then Sam.
And Sam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam was like
Yeah,
their
so-
church's version of Grace.
I got
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
took
fun.
pictures.
Oh,
He was very.
yeah. That's really awesome.
And he was in the
super cool.
talent show.
Yeah.
There was a
He
talent show.
sang
Yes.
"Man I Need" during the talent show,
Oh,
and like
what a
changed the
song.
words too.
Yeah.
To
Oh my
customize it to him.
gosh. That's so
It was so good.
I love that. Oh
And
my
his
goodness.
little brother won the talent show.
Yeah.
What did he
Yeah.
do?
What did he
He
sing?
sang
Oh, he
The
sang
Greatest
too.
Showman.
Yeah.
Are they like a family of vocalists or something?
guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Did you guys do the talent show?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
Did anyone from our church do the talent show?
They tried out, but they didn't make it.
But we made it last year and we got third place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. What did you do last year?
it
They
was-
danced
Yeah, they danced.
with some
With
green
bobs.
wigs
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That. Yeah. The bobs. Did you
Yeah.
keep the wigs? Bring them back again?
Oh yeah,
I
I
have
have
the
it in my
wig.
closet.
on. Yeah. I
You
didn't
gotta
wear
keep the
it.
wigs. You can
but-
never get rid of a green bob.
You know, I
Yeah.
never wore it at camp.
You never
though.
know when you're going to need it.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. I love this. All right. Well, I have another question for you here. I am I'm sure that you guys have been really influenced by leaders, whether it's, your youth pastor or your small group leader or even a friend or different friends that have graduated, or, is there one or two people that you feel like have like influenced you up until this point to either like, get you to camp, or, that has come alongside you while you were at camp and like prayed for you in a way? Is there anyone that like, even if you want to take this time and just say like, thank you, because it's, I mean, I think it's a big deal that we have people that come alongside of us and get us kind of to where we need to be sometimes. So is there anyone like off the top of your head that you're like, I just want to say like, thank you. Yeah. For what they've done. You wanna start?
I'd probably say Miss Courtney and
I would
Hadley.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miss Jessica. She
There
was
you
my
go.
friend the whole time. Everyone went back to the room.
Little
I was
buddy.
like, I'm not doing that hill.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm not doing that. Hill.
Yeah.
Aw, that's awesome. So Miss Courtney, and you said
Hadley.
Hadley, and
Miss Jessica.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
all the leaders.
Yeah.
Malachi
Really
too.
Malachi was really good too. But
that's really awesome.
they were all great.
Yeah. And they were like, they like, were divided up right between high school and middle school and that kind of thing as well,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, did you guys do small groups like every
Night.
day or every
Every
night?
night,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we would do youth group time like after morning chapel.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like I do think that the teaching sometimes can be a lot of like to take in. So those small group times, especially with people from your church, your very own small group is very, very special, and I'm sure very meaningful, especially at camp. But yeah, so if there was one more, again, like I mentioned before, like one more worship song, one more, service, one more message that you just want to take away, or maybe even like share with the people that are going to be listening to this podcast here, what would that be?
Well, we did one night, we did this thing and it was like a letter, but we couldn't see what the letter said. And then we had to like fill in like our name, our birthday, like something we were struggling with, I think.
Okay.
And then something else. And then we like opened it all at the same time and it's like made it personalized to us and it was like a letter to us.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like really good.
Yeah,
And I think
really awesome.
it seemed, I feel like kind of like silly at first, but then when you actually like read it, like everyone was like crying and it was like very,
That's a really cool, even just something probably that you could do again,
yeah.
and that's a good reminder. That's really nice. I like that.
And we still have the papers, so
Do
we
you?
can always look back on them
Yeah.
too.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love those little like I saw you had a couple like pictures in your journal, and those little, things that you can take away can be like the reminder that you need sometimes in like the worst moments, if you're having a bad day, and then you might see that little card and you're like, thank you, Jesus, for that reminder, or the pictures and you're reminded of friendships and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. Did you have anything, Maya? Any last thoughts?
I agree with Addie's, but I just love worship. I especially love worship at camp. It's just like so amazing, and like everyone's doing it.
Yep.
Everyone's hands are raised. Like you're not looking around and you're like, I'm the only one. And I do this really fun thing when I worship. We call it the teapot. I go back and forth like this.
You do a little rocking.
Yeah, she does.
And sometimes when I do it, I'm like, ooh, everyone's gonna know. But no one notices because they're all in their own.
Yeah, no one pays attention.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's really awesome. I've seen some videos and some clips, and do they normally have like a team of like college students there?
Yeah. I think it's the Indiana West Band.
It's like the Revolution band or
Awesome.
something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. And again, worshiping with people that you love, people that you're growing with. There's nothing like it. So that's really awesome. I love that. That's a special moment that you'll probably take away for many and hold like close to your heart for many years. So that's great. Well, I think those are really all like the, questions that I have, the more serious questions. But I would love to ask you guys a couple more fun questions, just throwing a couple more out here. I'm going to call these the rapid fire questions. All right. So, number 1, favorite camp meal.
Oh, so one night we had garlic bread. I had probably 10 pieces of garlic bread.
I would do the same thing.
I didn't eat anything else, just the garlic bread.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Carbs is where it's
so
at.
good.
Garlic bread. Love it. Okay. As a meal. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite game.
I liked that one when we were like a caterpillar.
Oh.
So like there was a big like yoga ball.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then someone else was there.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
no.
someone else was there, and we had to move and keep the balls together, and we kind of looked like
That one made me mad. I didn't.
All right. A little frustrating. Oh man. How are you guys both pretty competitive?
No.
I didn't think I was until.
Until I started playing the game.
And now the green
Yeah.
team just loses. You guys haven't won yet, so
Well,
you got
won
You
some
have
of
one
the
more year,
games.
right?
Yeah.
We
One
just-
more year.
Yeah.
Next year,
I got it. Don't
You got to
worry.
bring the
Yeah.
bring the
I got
win to the
this.
green team.
Yeah.
Morning person or night person?
Night person.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
up all night.
Night. I've heard a lot from my sisters about like late nights, and then I also see them on the floor just sleeping, sometimes in random places, like unpacking because they're just so tired from
Yeah.
camp. That's so fun. Would you go back next year,
Yes.
I would.
Maya?
I would love to work for them.
Okay.
But I want to be the person on the stage, and I can't be the person on the stage.
Oh.
So
So maybe not. maybe she won't go back next year. Oh, all right. Well, what is one thing that everyone is still talking about camp? that you guys like just can't get over?
I feel like we still talk about my window story.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I full circle moment here. I think
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah.
Well, if there isn't anything else that you guys like want to add or share, I think that this was a nice way to just kind of recap what things looked like on the student side of camp. And pretty soon we're actually going to be able to hear from your leaders and some of those people that you guys look up to. So thank you guys so very much. And we're going to be continuing to pray for you guys as you're being sent and, you know, sharing the gospel as you've been equipped to do and going away to school. And Addie, we still got you for another year. And I really believe like the Lord is really moving in the youth ministry. And it's been a blessing to be able to see it and witness it and just have these conversations with you. Because, I mean, I had a lot of questions answered here right now. So this is great. But thank you guys for joining this little bit of our Stoney Sessions podcast episode. We are going to be jumping over to the leaders pretty soon here. But yeah, thank you, Maya and Addie, so much for joining us. And we'll be right back with the leaders here. Well, hello. We are back on the podcast here with our NTS recap episode we've got going on. And I do have to say, I have some more special guests here. And before we get into things, our first special guest that I'll introduce, Courtney here, would like to share a little note.
I just noticed that one of our students made a comment, and I just would like to clarify. They did have a leader with them. So
They had a leader.
Just want to make sure everyone is aware.
Glad we cleared that up. We just, in between recording these, we had to clear that up, and I'm glad we did. The kids did a great job, though. I heard.
They did awesome.
Other than the screen falling out of the window. You know, that's okay. It happens.
That's going to go down in camp history.
It will. It's one of those stories. They love it. They're still talking about it. Well,
I am a little surprised they didn't talk about our piece of concrete. So we will have to talk about that at some point.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to ask you guys for a funny story or something. I don't know. Maybe not on the podcast. I don't know. We'll see. But I am so, so happy to have both of you here. Jessica, I would love for you to introduce yourself. And then Courtney, you can share like kind of the role that you guys both played in putting on NTS camp this year. So either of you guys can start.
So, hi everyone, I'm Jessica. I was a small group leader for high school girls at camp this year. It was pretty unexpected that I was there, but I'm very glad that Miss Courtney asked me to come and kind of made a quick decision and said I'll do it, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Courtney.
So I'm Courtney, and
Yeah.
I'm the student director at Stoney now. So, yeah, I get to go to all the camps and all the good things. So I have lots of good stories.
She's gonna
but
have
that's,
many
you
years
know,
of stories. Just pile them up. Oh man, you're gonna have to write a book or something.
right?
Title it Stoney Student Stories. Lots of S's here. All right. Well, I would love. I know that I've just talked briefly with you guys a little bit. Just hearing about truly the impact that camp has had on the students. I'm sure even on you guys as well. And I'd love to just hear really like what you would say like the Lord was doing. I know that probably kids were challenged to grow in different ways. Do you guys have any like right off the bat, like this was worth taking off a whole week of work, like, you know, kind of out of the blue and like, thank you, Jesus, like, you know, for this, this camp, and what's like one of those reasons for you guys?
I would say for me, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I haven't been to any of these camps.
Right.
So for me, it was just all these girls, some that have been there, been going to camp for years, some that it was the first year, every one of them, and the guys too. Every one of them just was all in, and they opened up and they were excited and they had fun. And you saw people that, you know, maybe are really reserved and quiet, really open up and share and start to pour their heart out. And I think the name of the camp, NTS, Never the Same, I think it truly did live up to its name.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely named that. way for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
After going for the second time, it's definitely.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the biggest things is having gone to several different camps now and everything. I think it's interesting always to see just even our growth as leaders. So it's like we're watching the students and we're expecting, you know, for God to be working in the students, and we just end up so blessed while we're there, and we end up learning so much that we didn't even see coming, you know. And I think one of the big things this year was watching. We had Hadley and Malachi and, you know, Jessica, who Hadley has attended, you know, the camp as a student, right? But to have the three of them lead with me, it was really, really cool how God just kind of used them and how they allowed, you know, God to use them and said yes to everything, and watching them kind of at the like the teaching moments after, like with big group and everything, like each one of them took a part, and it was cool to step back and just be like, yes, like watch them grow. So even just, you know, for us leaders, you know, to see what happens and everything. But watching the students, I think the biggest thing is just the relationships. Right? Just for me, you know, I've known some of these kids since, you know, first and second grade even, and thinking of them now as juniors and seniors and watching all that they've gone through, and watching, you know, even what their families have gone through, and how, you know, the church comes alongside them, and how they, you know, I don't know, they just get to grow through everything, and watching them all just really be there for each other. I think the girls were talking about it before, but just really be there for each other. And I think when you have students who have kind of stayed in the shadows, it's always at camp where they bust out. And
Where
it's
the light
just like,
shines bright. Yep.
And it's like, and you walk around camp and you're like, you can only wear that at camp, you know, because everyone's wearing tutus, right? So it's great.
In the green wigs. I
And
heard about the green wigs.
Yes, the bobs.
Yep. You never know what's going to happen.
We did bedazzle Malachi as well. He did let us bedazzle him, so that was pretty cool with green
Is there
stars.
a picture of this?
There is. We do have
green stars.
photographic evidence.
Oh my word. Well, that is just, I'm sure that was great for him. I know we're going to have to get him on here too, because we've got the girls side. We need some of the boys. I'm sure they've got some fun stories too. And this is just the girls. Yeah, the boys are probably a lot crazier. I don't know. Our boys here are pretty.
Our boys are pretty
They're pretty chill. They're good. Well, I would love to hear a little bit, because I know both of you guys have students that went to camp this year. Some of your kids have like either graduated or are even going to be transitioning into, already have, into youth group. I would love to hear even just like the mom side of things, I guess, and like, you know, maybe even preparing for camp, or what it's like coming out of camp, or, I mean, you guys were there witnessing it and seeing it, and I'm not gonna, there is a box of tissues here. We had this here when the girls were here earlier. I'm like, we probably won't need it. I don't know. There was one time where I got a little emotional, but we have it here just in case. But just like I really would love just for like other moms, you know, that are listening, or parents, or anyone just that knows a kid that's looking out for a kid that really needs something like that. So what was that like for you guys? Just the whole experience.
From a mom perspective, at camp, you are not mom, right? Everyone did a very good job of making that line clear. But being the mom and seeing and watching my daughter there, she's going into 7th grade. It was her first year. Miss Hadley was her leader. Just seeing her have fun, open up, just be, she was there. Like, she was into it. She had the time of her life. But I also know that she did open up to Hadley, and she did make a lot of friends. And I mean, I'll say we've come back from camp, and she's hung out with so many of these girls since we've been back. Prior to me going as a leader, I was nervous. I knew I wanted her to go. I wanted her to experience it, but it's New York. It's far. So we were very apprehensive about sending her. Being there, seeing it, witnessing it firsthand. Anyone that's questioning it, just do it. Send your kid. It's such an amazing experience for them. And it's not something you will regret.
That's awesome. And yeah, even just, I'm sure it was a huge blessing to you with even that little bit of hesitancy that you might have felt, whether it's like, sending your daughter to New York or like, sometimes it's just hard sometimes you can't take work off. Sometimes it's really, really hard and you just have to make these crazy sacrifices and you're like, don't know why I'm doing this. Like that was like, someone just got baptized on Sunday. She said, I'm only getting pulled into the water by the Lord right now. Like this is the Lord. And that's awesome. So like when you really listen to the Lord calling you to do that, and just seeing the fruit of the, work that's been, I don't know. And just seeing, I've seen your daughter, just the joy, like, I don't know, all the kids seem so much happier when they come back from camp, but like, you really do see the joy of the Lord in their hearts, in their smile. And, that's awesome. So,
yeah. And I will say, if I had not been asked to go as a leader, I think the decision was that she wasn't going. And now that was no part of it. I never went and said, hey, she can only go if I'm there. No, not at all.
Yeah.
But all you can say is that was God. He's the only reason that I was asked to go. And that's what got my daughter there. And
that's
was
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's really cool. Courtney, got anything?
I just want to know if we are placing bets on whether or not I'm going to use the tissues when I talk.
I think we should just push the box
push them a little closer. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be okay. No, so having 3 boys come through this youth group and kind of growing with them myself, I tell everybody all the time that though we were going to church prior to coming to Stoney, we definitely met the Lord at Stoney, and we met the Lord because Mac, my oldest, just straight out the gates was all in, and he kind of, God used him, and we kind of started seeing things and transformations, and it was pretty great. So coming into the student group, watching again just years of watching my own boys transform, and just thinking, what would we do if we didn't have God to lean on, and what would our lives be like if we weren't choosing this? And camp really is a different experience. It really is, it can be a very humbling experience as parents even, right? And it's one of those things where I think even our kids recognize that it's like a safe place where they can be themselves. They can say what they need to say. They can do what they need to do. They can, do something totally out of their, comfort level and everything. And for me this year, my youngest was with us, and he definitely struggles with some social anxiety, and he was willing to try and fight through some things, and he did, and it was awesome to see him start to fight through things. But then of course, the enemy came in and was like, oh, you're getting kind of close to letting God win here, and he didn't want that, right? But it was really cool as his mom to speak into him and to be able to look and be like, you are so close to breaking this with God, right? So it's like God is, he's here, he's present, he's here, right? And to be able to look at him and see kind of his whole demeanor change and be like, oh, I'm so close, right? But he was able to reach out to a couple very, very, very good friends here. And again, without those relationships and without seeing what some of these friends came along and did to make sure that he felt included and that he just had support. And to see that, and now he answers phone calls with them, and so it's a pretty great thing to be able to see what the Lord really does at camp. And I think because it's just that constant, you're just fully submerged, for multiple days. It's not just that quick, Tuesday night. And I would agree with Jessica completely, where it's, I'm having such a hard time not saying Miss Jessica or Queen Jessica. But I would really agree that if there was a parent that is wondering whether or not they should send their kids to Spring Hill or to camp or, whatever, just, I would really encourage them to talk to us, talk to the leaders, let us, really fill you in on the true, what God really does and how he moves, and the stories of transformation that we just witness happen and everything, because it's one of those things where we think our kids are too young, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh man, God's going to meet you right there. I mean, he's just so good. So,
wow, that's awesome. And you had mentioned like that being fully submerged in what camp is, and the Holy Spirit moving truly. I mean, I don't know how many kids are there, probably hundreds of kids. And I just can't even imagine like the joy. I know that it brings like even myself and, all of us just thinking about that gathering, but just the joy. I know that like heaven is rejoicing in that. Like there is so much that can come from, and I'm just turned 23, but I know I'm gonna sound like I'm all old, but like the high schoolers and like even like these middle schoolers that are, I mean, they're making their way there too, and it's like they can have such a huge impact in hearing that like the gospel, like they were being equipped with tools on how to share that. That is it, like amazing. I can't even imagine the places that these students are going to go and the hearts that are going to be changed, and the ways I've already seen the ways that the Lord has used these students in this church. Honestly, like within the last, I don't know how many years you guys have been going to church camp again. It's like that fire is like incredible to just see and witness. And I mean, I don't get the opportunity to be at like too many youth camps. But I know I've been to one or two, I know, like growing up, and that fire is such a good thing. But I do like, of course, it's like that other side of like, oh, it's so good. And they're fully submerged. And then we get back to
what happens when we
yes.
come home.
So then I was going to like lead into this next question. Like for you guys as leaders, also as moms, I mean, probably more as leaders, you see it because it's like all the youth students, for them, not all of the students go, but most of them are at camp. So then you come back to youth group, and then what's it going to look like, or what's it going to look like at home? Is there anything that, is maybe one of the bigger struggles for you guys, or anything? Also, we'd love to like share the encouragement for, maybe some parents that are listening right now, or other leaders that are trying to come alongside their students.
I think again, one of the biggest things is relationships, right? So one of the cool things is how much we connect with the kids while we're there, and how much you really get to know them on a deeper level. And so coming back, it's really important that we're staying connected with them and that we're available to them. People kind of giggle because they find out that, some kids will stop by my house and they'll bring me flowers and gluten-free Oreos out of nowhere. And I'm like, it's awesome.
They know you so
and they're
well.
like, but do you need people? Yes, I do. Like, stop by whenever you want.
Anytime.
I'm an 80s mom. Come on. You don't even have to ring the
Come
doorbell.
on in.
But
Come on in.
it's really important that we, and even for ourselves, to keep talking to each other as adults, and just, hey, where are you struggling? What's going on? But just maintaining those relationships afterwards. We talk about it at camp too, where it's like, yes, there's that camp high, but you don't really want that camp high, right? Like, we should just be able to live this out daily. We shouldn't just have that camp high and it's so good, and then all of a sudden we get to fall and we're
that
like,
crash is so the high is like so high, and then that crash can be so, and especially like like you said, the fall, then it's like school starts.
Absolutely.
And what?
And it's kind of like real life happens, right? Sometimes it feels that way, where it's completely a different world when you're at camp, and then you come home, and I think it is heartbreaking for some of the kids. They come home a little stunned and they're like, oof, school.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Right.
Get
So it's
hit by a
because
wall,
it's tricky ages, it's tricky environments. There's a lot, social media, there's so many different things that they experience, that
the noise is so loud
yeah,
here.
it really is.
is,
It really is. And so I think having those opportunities and continuing to just, reach out and stay connected and make sure that they're, in the word, and that we're praying for them. But really just being present, just like God's present with us, just being present with them and letting God use us, in those moments. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like that is probably the biggest thing, is like just the knowing that you're there. And then of course it's like, but then if your leader isn't, or if there comes a day, it's like, who always is. We know who always is, and we always have the word. And I mean, I'm hoping that, these kids are just going to continue to want to read that, like want to get into the word and want to, study the word, because I know on like Sunday mornings, you guys are doing more like of the focus, like time in the word. And I think that's so important because, I mean, I like to read books sometimes, but my comprehension sometimes is also not great. So just using the different tools, because it could be as simple as, I saw you guys have little bins in the youth room with like highlighters and sticky
It
notes.
makes me so
and-
excited.
See? Yeah, I'm like, that's all it takes sometimes. And it's great that, these students have leaders and, just people to look up to and like look to for those tools, because again, it's like people fail, things fail, but at the end of the day, you have the one thing that always remains.
Yeah.
In your heart, you've got the word, and that's awesome. So those
And I
are
don't
great.
think any of us leaders had a hard time being like, oh, I probably didn't do that right, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we try this again? Can we do
Right.
this instead? Can we
Let's
go
try
this
it one more
direction?
time.
Right.
Let's not go
Yeah.
up the hill again. So, but again, just being real and holding
Yeah.
ourselves accountable
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
making sure the kids recognize that it's not us,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yep.
that's so true. I think that's huge. And
And that it's okay to make a mistake.
Yeah,
Right.
It's okay to do
absolutely.
something
yes, your leaders aren't
Absolutely.
perfect either.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
don't ever get that in your mind. Yeah. Well, if there could be like one takeaway moment here, I know you guys had said just really like encouraging parents, like if you're thinking that, I don't want to steal your takeaway and this can be your takeaway, but that last encouragement, like that last nudge, or whether it was like the theme of camp that, really touched your heart, just kind of one last little bit that you'd want to leave here.
So I would, like I touched on, for any parents that are questioning it, any students, any kids that are like, oh, I don't really know anyone going, I'm not sure, you're going to make friends. You're not going to regret it. I would say just do it. But then there was one quote from the evening message, the evening speaker, I thought was great. But one thing that he said that I just thought was just really good is he said, the two most important days of your life are the day that you are born and the day that you find out why. And I thought that was, I feel like that just kind of really hit home because they were talking, about your calling and things like that and on that night. And I just thought that was powerful.
That's really cool.
And we talked about that in the small group after. And
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What about you? You got any final? I mean, you did share a lot.
I was going to say, I already spoke so much. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I was just going to say, you've got a lot of things to be celebrating.
There's just so many things.
Yeah.
I think, again, if I was looking at a parent right now, again, going back just as mom right now, seeing what these kids have gone through, seeing what their school experiences are, seeing, some of, just the situations that they've kind of been through, it's really important to get plugged in with a community that you can trust. And it's not baseball and it's not, soccer, and it's not, you can do those things. Those things are great.
Awesome. Yeah.
But
Yep.
God priority, but that community, that fellowship, that like where they can really grow. And I think it's hard because I think people get nervous to go to camp because they don't know people, and it's because they can't make time during the week, because let's just be real, we all get overcommitted. I think that's a fair thing to
Sign
say. We
yourself up
all
to
do
too
it.
many
We
things.
all do it, right? So I would say, make it a priority so that your kids really have a place that they tie in, and I don't know if I'm going to say it, even if it's not Stoney students,
Right.
right? It's like
Just
they got to
find
be
your
plugged in
place.
where they
Yeah.
can hear
Find
from
your
God, where
place.
they can be poured into, and it's just really important. And so,
well, and especially now, right? They're all at such a vulnerable age, and the digital world that we live in right now. What was that quote? It said, "We've never been more connected digitally, but so disconnected spiritually and emotionally." Right? Like everyone is living on their phones, and at this age, it's so important to get these kids off the phone and not letting that be their identity and what they
Right.
see on TikTok and what they
Right.
see other people doing their age and things
Right.
like that.
And that's awesome that, I mean, I don't know what the like rules are or whatever for phones at camp, but I mean, they keep them pretty busy, I'm
They keep
sure.
'em busy.
So there's not
keep 'em
enough time to
busy.
be. So
But the kids were allowed to have their phones
Yeah.
as long as they used them appropriately.
Okay.
And I
They
would
were
say
using
for the
them
most
for
part,
videos
they,
and
other than pictures and
Which-
videos, they weren't using their phone. They were
And
They didn't have
choosing to
time.
disconnect.
and it's crazy
But
because
even during the downtime, like
Oh,
free
yeah.
playtime, they had, some time that they
Yeah.
could kind of do their own thing outside.
Yeah.
And they weren't sitting on their phones. They were
Right.
playing volleyball and
Yeah.
they were sitting and talking and some were
Yeah.
reading their Bibles. They were intentionally disconnecting. And I think that was very important.
wow,
Definitely.
that's huge. That is huge. Yeah, because it is such a heavy, heavy influence, especially nowadays. So, yeah, that's awesome that they got, and I mean, even you saying that they had the option to have their phones, like, and they probably could disconnect if they really wanted to. So, that's awesome that they made that intentional decision. Yeah, that's really awesome. But, okay.
I will say one more thing too.
Yes. Yeah.
We talked at the end, we had come back home. And one of the small group conversations got into how many of our students don't have families that attend church and how they're coming on their own. And so I would encourage any students too that it's okay to come on your own, right? It's okay to come with a friend and everything, not against a parent, right?
Right.
But you don't have to stay away.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah. That's great. Wow. Do you guys have any last closing thoughts? This is great, honestly. I'm glad that we got to hear both sides of things. And even because, I mean, you'll know, and you got to hear a little bit of just the really, really great things that these students have to say about you guys. And they're just very grateful for the ways that you guys have been serving. And I mean, Courtney, I get to work alongside you, in and out during the week. And it's great to be able to do ministry together. And I know that you have touched the hearts of a lot of students. And I know that it's going to just continue to keep doing that. And I know that you're going to continue to just keep growing in yourself. Because like you said, you and your boys, you feel like you guys have been walking through this together. And I can see that in your heart. And I see the ways, even like your friend, Miss Jessica here, you got her to even come to camp. And that is also awesome. And I want to say thank you to you as well, just for pouring into these students' lives, even just after jumping in after how many weeks or whatever, just kind of being like, all right, going to camp, taking off the work and
going to camp. And then after that, I was like, hey, girl, coming in regular, Queen Jess.
Hey, yes, I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, yes, but thank you. Seriously, like truly, I don't know who I'm speaking for. I'll say it for myself. I have loved just being able to witness what the Lord is doing in the way that he's using you guys. So thank you guys for answering more of my questions as well. And thank you guys for joining. If you guys have any ways that you want to try and get connected here, this is Courtney. You see her face. We've got the name and the face. So now you have no excuse. You know exactly who she is. And if you are interested in serving in the students ministry or in our kids ministry as well, we'd love to have you be a part of that. And we'd love to get you connected in whatever way that looks like. Again, if you're a student or some parents that are, wondering if they should join youth group or go to camp, I feel like the Lord has made it very evident just in, like I was talking about, the fruit of just what has come from this summer at camp and also what's going on here at Stoney Church. So it's been great to recap camp, and I can't wait to, see what's going to be coming next for the youth ministry and next year, Camp Go Green. And yeah, we will catch you next week for Stoney Sessions. Thank you again for joining us. You can find all these episodes on Apple Podcasts. We got them on, so we're going to have to redo this outro. Thank you. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We're so glad that you're here.
If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself, but share it with a friend and help grow our podcast community.
We'd love to see you this Sunday at Stoney Church, services at 9 or 11 a.m.
We're dropping the next episode next Wednesday at 12 noon.
Hit subscribe so you don't miss it,
Join us then, and until next time, stay inspired.
and see you soon.